There is an exemption in House Bill 3391B for insurers in Section 27E of the bill. Insurers are exempt from the requirement to cover abortion services if they did not offer that coverage in any of their plans during the 2017 plan year. There is currently a health benefit plan in this state that qualifies for that exemption and will not need to provide abortion services, cover abortion services. Any employer is free to purchase insurance through that health benefit plan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Point of a clarification.
Follow up. Does the carrier yield?
Yes.
She does.
Thank you. So if I own a retail store, let's say I sell books or desks or tires or whatever that may be, and I hold a strong religious conviction, I can offer a plan to my employees that does not include abortion as a paid-for service, and I will not be in violation of House Bill 3391. Is that true?
Madam Speaker, there is likely to be a health benefit plan currently in Oregon that qualifies for the exemption under Section 27E. Employers are free to purchase insurance through that health benefit plan.
Additional question?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker, I do.
Does the carrier yield?
Yes.
She does.
So on that note, does subsection 2, subsection 9 conflict with section 7, subsections 1, 2, and 3?
Representative, do you have that question, or do you need that repeated?
Repeating would be great, thanks.
Could you repeat that again? Thank you.
Sure.
There are a lot of numbers there. Thanks.
Sorry, okay. So does subsection 2, which is what we were just referring to, subsection 9, does that conflict with subsection 7, sections 1, 2, and 3? Goes back to just exemption.
Can you state that in plain language? We don't see a subsection 2, section 7, 1, 2, 3. There's an A, B, C, D, E there.
So subsection 7, section 1, 2, and 3 refers to an individual may not, on the basis of actual or perceived race, color, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, gender, identity, age, or disability, be excluded from participation in, denied, and so on. Again, does subsection 2, subsection 9, religious exemption, conflict with section 7, subsections 1, 2, and 3?
So you're referring to section 7, subs 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Does
Correct.
that clarify?
It does.
Thank you.
And no, those sections do not conflict.
So the answer was the sections do not conflict. Follow up?
So the religious exemption would apply to subsection 7, sections 1, 2, and 3, correct?
Follow-up.
Excuse me?
I yield to the follow-up.
Thank you. Thank you for yielding to the follow-up, Representative. So could you say that again, Representative?
So just to be correct, I just want to clarify, you're saying that the religious exemption does apply to section 7, subsections 1, 2, and 3.
Madam Speaker, no. Employers cannot, according to Section 7, employers cannot discriminate.
Thank you, Representative. Additional question?
I do, if I could, please. I have one more.
Additional question. Does the carrier yield?
Yes.
She does.
Thank you. Could House Bill 3391 potentially jeopardize the state of Oregon receiving federal funds?
Madam Speaker, no. House Bill 3391B includes a provision that authorizes DCBS to grant an exemption to the bill's requirement for coverage of health services if enforcement may adversely affect the allocation of federal funds. Legislative Counsel has issued an opinion letter on this topic that will be submitted to OLIS. This letter describes the safeguards the bill contains to ensure that federal funding isn't jeopardized. The letter states, if a health insurer filed a complaint with the Office for Civil Rights asserting that HB 3391B discriminated against the insurer on the basis that the insurer did not provide coverage for abortions, Section 2, subsection 10 of House Bill 3391B would give the Department of Consumer and Business Services the authority to work with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and with the insurer to tailor an appropriate remedy, which could include exempting an insurer from the requirements of House Bill 3391B if necessary to comply with the Weldon Amendment. Thus, the department could modify the provisions of House Bill 3391B in a particular instance to ensure compliance with the Weldon Amendment.
Additional question?
To the bill.
To the bill.
Colleagues, I also wanted to point out a concern, and I'm going to touch a little bit on my questions, but first, the floor letter that's on our desk with the numerous logos. I have to agree with the good Representative Neerman. I'm concerned about a few of these logos. We've got the Bus Project and AFSCME and SEIU and a few others. I have some family members who belong to a couple of these, AFSCME, I think, and a few others that have this strong beliefs like I do. And I'm concerned that those dollars have been spent to say that they support something like this. So I just wanted to put that on the record for their sake, since they can't. Owning a business in Oregon is tough. We haven't made it any easier on them, and it concerns me that this narrow definition that we've defined here today puts at risk someone's First Amendment right and their ability to decide with their religious convictions what's right for them and what they perceive as right in their heart. The definition that's given in the ORS 743A.066 clearly states that those that will be exempted from this are nonprofits and churches. I'm happy to have on the record that that may not be the case. We'll see how that works out down the line. I think even more so, though, what is saddening to me is that in this budget time that we have chosen to spend almost $600,000 in a biennium on abortion, when I would have much rather seen those dollars spent to educate young women on women's health. I am a pro-life woman, and I am darn proud of it. And I have raised a young woman in my family to be the same. And she is proud of that. I wish that the conversation today was based on how we were educating young women and empowering them so that they didn't find themselves in those positions. And I respect the comments made by the good colleague from Eastern Oregon earlier about our young men and the responsibilities in teaching them, our sons and our daughters. I was looking at a survey conducted of 1,209 abortion patients at 11 large providers. And they did in-depth interviews that they conducted at 4 of those sites. 74% of those women said that the reason that they had an abortion was because the baby would interfere with their education, their work, or their ability to care for dependents. And the good representative from Portland earlier said that it affects their ability to survive because of economic reasons. That just makes my heart hurt. I would much rather see us empower women and educate them on how they can protect their bodies. And I just can't help but wonder, what would happen if we took that $600,000 and we as smart women and men in this building sat down and said, we're going to choose to invest these dollars in ways that we can empower and educate and protect women from ever having to make that choice. I wonder what would have happened then. I wish we were having that conversation today. Because I am with my colleague from Eastern Oregon. I didn't want to be here today. And I was right alongside him in saying, let's leave Friday at 5 o'clock, I got to tell you. I encourage a no vote. Thanks.